Ever feel like your brain has too many tabs open? Chunking helps you group information into smaller, clearer sections, so the important parts are easier to find and use. In this video, you will learn how chunking helps you remember more by turning many small details into a few meaningful groups. Working memory is the small mental space you use to hold information right now. It is useful but limited. When too many details arrive at once, some of them become harder to keep track of. Chunking means grouping details into meaningful units, like loose beads becoming bracelets. Separate details are easier to remember when they are organized into clear groups. Here is a simple example. A grocery list with 12 separate items can feel crowded. But when the same items are grouped by meal or purpose, the list becomes easier to scan and remember. Once details are grouped, they are easier to connect to what you already know. Those connections help the groups move from working memory into long-term memory, where they are easier to find later. A common mistake is thinking chunking means learning less. Not exactly. Chunking means organizing information better, so the details support each other instead of competing for space. So far, we have covered two big ideas. Working memory has limited space, and chunks help you organize information, so it is easier to handle. Want to remember this technique long-term? Tap the link for Quizlet study tools. Then jump back into the video. Lock in what you learned and keep going. Now, let's use the same strategy with a school topic, cell organelles. Instead of trying to memorize every organelle separately, you can group them by job. First, the nucleus goes in the control group because it holds the cell's instructions. Next, mitochondria go in the energy group because they help release usable energy for the cell. Finally, the endoplasmic reticulum and Golgi apparatus go in the transport group because they help move and package materials. Now you have three main handles for the topic. When you remember a category, it can help you recall the smaller parts grouped under it. Chunking also works for timelines. If a chapter has many events, you can group them into causes, turning points, and results. That way, history becomes easier to follow as a story with direction, not just a pile of dates. One common mistake is making chunks too large. A chunk called Everything About the Test is too broad to be useful. Good chunks are small enough to practice, but meaningful enough to connect related ideas. Try this 4-step method. First, skim the material for the big picture. Next, group related details. Then, give each group a short, clear name. Finally, practice recalling each group and the details inside it. The goal is not just to recognize the chunks when you see them. The goal is to recall them on your own. That kind of practice strengthens your memory for both the groups and the details inside them. Remember the pattern, group related information. Name each group and practice recalling it from memory. Strong chunks make big topics feel smaller, clearer, and easier to use. If you want to practice what you learned today, check the links in the description for Quizlet's memorization guide and study tools designed to help you remember it longer. Keep learning, keep practicing, and we'll see you in the next video.